Dear religious viewer of Khabar Tatak, the story that I have brought before you today under the religion section of Khabar Tatak is directly linked with the third eye of Lord Shiva. The glory of the third eye of Lord Shiva has been sung in different verses and hymns. If we look into the great Mahamrityunjay Haman, we see Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukchiya Mamritat. That is, we worship Lord Shiva with three eyes, who is fragrant and Vishnu, strength to all. Just as cucumber free from its vine, so as we also be freed from the bondage of death. In another verses, we see Nagendraharaya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheswaraya Nityaya Suddhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya. Solution to Lord Shiva, who has necklace of King Cobra, who has three eyes and who applies ashes on his body and who is the greatest of all God. Most often the third eye of Lord Shiva remains closed, but whenever it is open, it creates a great havoc not only at that place but to the entire universe. Once upon a time, Manmat, that is Kamdev or god of love, has generated love among meditating Lord Shiva for Parvati. However, he could do this with just eternal permission of Lord Shiva, otherwise, no one had strength enough to do so. Nevertheless, Lord Shiva, in order to prevent Kamdev being unbridled and the turning of benevolent act of creation into unbridled lust, Lord Shiva turned Kamdev into ashes, opening his third eye and emanating its rays. However, thereafter, when Kamdev's wife Rati and other deity told Lord Shiva that Lord Kamdev did this just to save divinity from Tarakasur, Lord Shiva made Kamdev alive but kept him formless for a particular period in order to fulfill a particular job in future, which God were not aware of. However, later on, this problem was solved, but there was still a problem that what will happen with this fire emanating from the third eye of Lord Shiva, which he was not eager to take back. Now, let me describe you the entire story in detail on the basis of different mythological accounts. After the cremation of Mother Sati in the sacrifice of his father Daksha Prajapati, Lord Shiva entered into trance at Ganga Tirtha, a place in the Himalayas where Ganga, cursed by Lord Brahma, had come from heaven and was living. Although he had given permission to Mother Parvati to worship him, He was not at all fond of her due to his deep meditation. During this time, Tarkasur, having pleased with Lord Brahma and received the boon that he could only be killed by Shiva's son, became virtually immortal. He had sought this boon because he was sure that Lord Shiva would not have a son as he was in trance. Having received this boon from Lord Brahma, Tarkasur took control of the three worlds and began tormenting the gods and sheikhs. Forgot about the gods and sheikhs, even Lord Vishnu, when he attempted to kill him with his Sudarshan Chakra, struck him in the neck. Seeing this, the god and sheikhs were distressed and sought refuge in Lord Brahma. Seeing the god and sheikhs seeking refuge, Lord Brahma told them that because of his boon, Tarkasur could not be killed by anyone other than Shiva's son. Therefore, Lord Shiva would have to develop a love for Parvati, who was engaged in worship day and night, so that he could make her his wife. The gods and sheikhs expressed doubt about this happening because Shiva was in a trance. Hearing this from the gods and sheikhs, Lord Brahma asked them to seek help from Kamdev in this matter. After taking leave from Lord Brahma, the gods and sheikhs came to Kamdev and asked him to break the meditation of Lord Shiva Shankar and create love for Mother Parvati in his heart. At first, Kamdev clearly refused to do such a thing towards Lord Shiv Shankar, but when the gods and sheikhs told him that doing so was the only way to kill Tarkasur for the welfare of the universe, then Kamdev agreed to do so. Upon arriving at Lord Shiva's Samadhi site, Kamdev first attempted to arouse Shiva's love for Parvati by creating a spring there, but his effort was futile and Lord Shiva remained absorbed in meditation. Then Kamdev sought his infallible flower arrow received from Lord Shiva himself at Lord Shiva breaking his meditation. As soon as the meditation was broken, Lord Shiva opened his third eye and the fire emanating from it reduced Kamdev to ashes. Ostensibly, Lord Shiva did this to save the world from the ugliness of Kama's intoxication, but indirectly, the omniscient Shiva knew that the gods and sheikhs were suffering from the atrocities of Tarkasur. He was also aware of the future atrocity of another demon named Sambrasur, and he had already set the stage for that demon's death in incinerating Kamdev. I will discuss Sambrasur's slaying in another story. For now, Kamdeva's incineration caused an uproar. Rati, Kamdeva's wife, weeping loudly at the sight of her husband Kamdev's incineration, told Lord Shiva that her husband Kamdev had done this for the welfare of the universe at the behest of gods and sheikhs. The gods and then supported Rati and prayed to Lord Shiva to revive Kamdev. Lord Shiva replied, I am bringing Kamdev back to life, but he will remain formless for now. In the Dwapar period, he will be born as the son of Pradyumna of Lord Krishna and his wife Rukmani, and then he and Rati will unite. Thus, the background for the aftermath of Tarakasur and Sambrasur was set. Over time, Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati were married, and their son Kartikeya slew Tarakasur, relieving the gods of Tarkasur's tyranny. In the Dwapar period, Pradyumna, the son of Lord Krishna and Rukmani, slew Sambrasur, freed the inhabitants of Dwarka from Sambrasur's tyranny, and obtained Rati as his wife. But a major problem still lingers. This was the mass of fire emanating from Lord Shiva's third eye, threatening to burn the entire universe. Its flames, like a cataclysmic fire, sometimes leaped into the sky, sometimes leaped to the ground, and sometimes descended into the underground world. This causes great havoc in all the three worlds, including all living and non-living beings. The gods and sheikhs began to play, Forgive me, Lord, forgive me, but even Lord Shiva did not seem eager to take back the fire of destruction emanating from his third eye. Frightened by this, all the gods and Shaks immediately took refuge in Lord Brahma, bowed their heads, folded their hands, and in a humble voice requested him to protect all living and non living beings of the three worlds from this fire of destruction emanating from Lord Shiva's third eye. Hearing these humble words of the gods, Lord Brahma invoked Lord Shiva to alleviate this calamity and had befallen all living and non-living beings of three worlds and came with the gods to place where the beam of light emanating from Shiva's third eye had transformed into a garland of flames and was ready to burn all living and non-living beings of the three worlds. Upon reaching there, Lord Brahma immediately stopped the fire of destruction emanating from the third eye of Lord Shiva with the supreme radiance obtained by the grace of Lord Shiva, despite stopping the desire of that fire of destruction or to burn the three worlds was not ending. Seeing this, Lord Brahma transformed it into a horse from whose mouth a gentle flame was emanating. By the will of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma transformed that stopped fire into Vadava, that is horse. After this, as per the wish of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma transformed it into the body of a horse. Shiva took the fire of destruction emanating from the third eye to seashore. Seeing him coming to its shore, the sea took the form of a divine man and came to him with folded hands, and after praising and worshipping him, asked him to tell the reason for his visit there. Hearing this from the ocean, Lord Brahma, remembering Lord Shiva, told the ocean, "You are very intelligent and beneficial to all people. This horse you see is the anger of Lord Maheshwar. It had burned Kamdev and was ready to immediately reduce the entire universe to ashes. Then, upon the prayers of the gods, by the grace of Lord Shiva, it has appeared before you in the form of a horse. Jalandhar, out of compassion for this universe, I command you to hold this wrath of Maheshwar, who stands in the form of a horse, spewing flames from its mouth until the end of the world. River keeper, when I come and reside here, you must release this amazing anger of Lord Shiva. Your water will be its daily food until then. You must carefully hold it aloft so that it does not sink into your infinite body of water. Upon Brahma's word, the ocean accepted to bear Rudra's wrathful fire, Vadavanal, which was impossible for others. Subsequently, the fire entered the ocean and ignited by a garland of flames began burning the ocean's water. After this, Brahma departed from there to his Brahmalok, and the ocean, possessing its divine form, also bowed to Brahma and disappeared. Freed from the fear of the wrathful fire emanating from Lord Shiva's third eye, all living beings, gods, sex, and saints of the entire universe were delighted. In my next story, based on the Shiva Puran, I will discuss what Giriraj Nandani Parvati Devi did after the burning of Madan, that is Kamdev, and where she went with her two friends.